Kurri Kurri Local Court has apprehended violence order, AVO, cases, just like all the other local courts in New South Wales. However, I am forming the opinion that Kurri doesn't have the resources available like some of the other local courts do. Yes, I've discussed this before, but there was another case heard here in August 2025 that highlights the limited resources here at Kurri. Kurri Kurri doesn't have a police liaison officer assigned. It's just one police prosecutor doing all the cases. At other courts such as Maitland, particularly on DV days, you'll see a liaison officer working the court. It's my understanding they will work out who's who and deal with some questions and assist the prosecutor. There's no one doing this at Kurri. So in August, there's a case where the defendant is facing charges plus an AVO. It's understood there's 2 complainants, one of which is a child. So I'm going to be very careful. I won't say any names or any details around the child. On this day, the defendant is unrepresented. They plead not guilty, and the court sets a hearing date over at Cessnock Local Court in December. The court will need to organise a court-appointed questioner, as this unrepresented defendant is not allowed to question the complainants. And yes, it's likely the court will be closed during the hearing because this case involves a child. But the reason why I'm talking about this case is because of what happened on this day at Kurri. The defendant had questions which the magistrate navigates with care because they can't give legal advice. And then suddenly a guy sitting in the gallery stands and loudly announces that they are the PINOP. PINOP is a person in need of protection, and it's likely he is the adult complainant in the case. The PINOP tells the court they don't want the AVO to proceed. In my opinion, this is where a police liaison officer will be valuable. They could work through whatever is going on before the case gets in front of the magistrate. There's some back and forth, and the case is stood down for a number of reasons, meaning they'll work out whatever and they'll return to the case later in the morning. It's called standing the case in the list. The rest of us in the gallery now know who the defendant and the PINOP are. Before, they were just 2 unknown people sitting on opposite sides of the gallery. Now we realise they're connected by this court case. We watch them interact, attempting to navigate the system. By the way, I'm not going to say what they were doing. Yes, there is an AVO in place. However, it is not a no contact AVO. They can still have contact. And I'm not suggesting in any way they were breaching the AVO in the gallery. I want to say I thought their situation could benefit from support. In my opinion, I think it's risky when defendants and PINOPs are left to navigate the system alone.